Hello, this is Marieke Blokland from Studio Bloknote and welcome to the Raw and Messy Sessions. Hi, I'm Marieke Blokland from Studio Bloknote and welcome to the Raw and Messy Sessions. Just hit play, grab your art journal and make a mess with me. Whether you're creating, organizing your art supplies, or just sitting in the chaos, you are not alone. This is where messy minds meet. Let's get started. In this episode of the Raw and Messy Sessions, I'm doing what this series is all about, turning the camera on and seeing what happens. To be honest, this wasn't my first try. I started filming another episode and had to stop halfway. It just didn't flow. But instead of calling it a failure, I started again, and I'm proud of that. This isn't a perfect tutorial. It's just me journaling in real time, talking about art, distraction, and why starting over isn't giving up. So if you've been stuck, unsure, or feeling meh, let this be your creative body double. Hit play, pick up your pen, and remember, you don't have to get it right, you just have to start. This feels like a nice page. This is how I work. I just randomly turn the pages of journals and all of a sudden I see this free space that inspires me. So there is enough going on here to be inspired by, but still it's not, there's not too much happening, because like on pages like this for example, there's already too much going on to actually work on this for now, but this feels empty enough. Anyway, struggles are so human, and the other day I wanted to film this video for the Raw and Messy Sessions and I was not feeling okay. I felt I felt this. It wasn't really sadness, but it was not joy either. And I started making this and filming this actually for the Raw and Messy Sessions. Turned out really nice. It's not finished yet. At this moment it's still drying, as this part is still wet, as I added this morning, and I was filming the rest yesterday in the Raw and Messy session that I wanted to make. And the funny thing is, I was actually telling that I didn't feel very happy, and I struggled. I found it hard to create a Raw and Messy Sessions video while I wasn't feeling okay. And it's not that I was depressed, I just wasn't feeling very well. And I forced myself into filming because being pure and raw and messy and taking everything exactly how it is without wanting to change anything necessarily about how you feel, that it's okay to feel sad, is something that a lot of us sort of have to learn. You don't always have to change your mood, or you will feel that you are fighting against yourself. We all just struggle sometimes. We all sometimes don't feel okay, and it's hard to not feel okay. I think many of us try to avoid having those feelings, and we distract ourselves with playing a video game or watching Netflix or do other stuff to distract ourselves, and sometimes that's a good thing, else you will focus on all the sadness too much and you will you have a chance that you drag yourself into a depression. But it's all about balance, I suppose. And for me, that's exactly what art journaling is about. That whether I feel good or not, it doesn't really matter. I just show up and start playing, and I will, by accepting everything that's there, I will feel better already. That's the trick, I guess. And art journaling really helps me with that. So I was filming the other day, but after 20 minutes I struggled so much that I put off the camera. I didn't really know what to say anymore, and later I felt that the video wasn't good enough. It's my inner perfectionist, but fortunately I did film everything, so I can edit it into a fun The Art of Raw video where I don't really explain anything. But yeah, I do now have a nice video in which I can show you this. So that's a good thing. It wasn't wasted time, and I can still inspire you. But yeah, my inner perfectionist also requested a new take for the raw and messy sessions. So here we are. And I hope by now that you also grabbed something to draw with or to play with. I still had a lot of papers on my desk from all the previous art journal sessions, and probably they will be on my desk until I've pasted them all in my journal. And I'm using a matte acrylic medium for this, because this is all thin rice paper and a cupcake wrap, a part of a cupcake wrap. And the rice paper is so thin that I prefer to use fluid acrylic medium over gel medium. I prefer the gel medium for paper that is a bit thicker, because the gel medium is more sturdy, but these rice papers are so thin that you can work in really thin, smooth layers when you use acrylic medium to paste it. And I don't use glue for this because glue often stays visible. You always make a bit of a mess and then you have glue everywhere, while this acrylic medium you can just use in a thin layer, and when it's dry you don't see it and you just build thin acrylic layers. It's transparent. This is a junk journal that I made a couple of years ago, and it has a lot of different sizes of pages in it, and I recycled old gel prints, mono prints. I have parts of the Logta paper that I love to use. You've probably seen it before in my work. Good quality paper that had some samples of paint on it. So watercolor paper, acrylic paper, recycled envelopes, things from books. I do really like junk journals. I started making them years ago because my very first art journal ever, years ago, or not the very first, I think the second. The first one was more a ring-bound sketchbook. It started more as a sketchbook, and then I discovered the work of Tisha Moore. I'm talking about 20 years ago maybe. And I started art journaling. That's how I started. Yeah, that's a good question actually. When did you start art journaling, and who inspired you to start art journaling? That's a fun question, because at one point you learn about art journaling, and it's always nice how other art journalists define art journaling, as for everyone it's a bit different. Everyone uses it in a bit of a different way. And for me, I discovered art journaling through Tisha Moore, who made awesome collages. And then on YouTube I also discovered Susie Blue. I really liked her work. I still do, but it's not my not how I work anymore. She still draws a lot of colorful female figures, but I really loved her for being so authentic. And yeah, that's how I discovered art journaling and art. And later also on YouTube, Tamara Laporte. We were all on YouTube together. That's how it started. It's funny because at one point, yeah, that is how a lot of us started online, just throwing our stuff on the internet. I started my YouTube channel in 2008. It's weird to think that within a couple of years I will be on YouTube for 20 years. I feel like a dinosaur on the internet. Meanwhile, I'm just layering the acrylic medium with a thin layer using a flat brush and just pasting small pieces of paper in the background. I will probably go over it with something later. This is just to add some texture to this background to play with later. Anyway, I was talking about my second journal. To go back, if you're new to my channel and new to these videos, you better get used to it, or else you will not like me. I have a bit of an ADHD brain, and I tend to switch topics in the middle of a sentence, and then after talking for minutes, I'm thinking, what was I talking about? And I really have to dig back. So I was talking about hand-bound books. Years ago, one of my very first journals was a handmade book, and I made it with a high-quality acrylic paper, a thick paper, and I really enjoyed working in that book. But later I discovered more the sketchbooks with thinner paper, and I started to prefer that over other types of journals. And I used the Sea White of Brighton journals for a very long time. In the meantime, I'm drying this with the heat tool. For a very long time I used the Sea White of Brighton sketchbooks that have the 140 grams paper in it. But a couple of years ago I had so many of these very pretty papers, like for example this type of natural Locta papers. It's from a fiber and they are from Nepal, and they have this screen printed pattern on them, like the white dots or this checks, and here again white dots. And I had so many of those, and then also, or here, this Japanese pattern, really nice. I had so many of those papers and also so many leftovers on my desk that I found hard to throw away, that I started to bind them into a book. And then later I discovered that that is called junk journaling. And back then a junk journal was more common in the mixed media art scene, and these days I see that the crafters, scrapbookers have adopted junk journaling as well. But there are no rules there are really no rules when it's called a junk journal or not. For me, that's really important to say over and over again, that there's never a thing that you have to do. I really hate it when there are specific have-tos. That's also one of the reasons, because I am working on an e-course, creating it, that is called the Raw Art Method. That's going to be my newest baby in the future. It's a lot of work, and I really don't know when I will finish it, as it is just simply a lot of work to create it. But I thought about it, and people ask me because just like I don't know if you know it, Zentangle. Zentangle is a sort of meditation art form that is used to that is using creativity to learn to be in the now, and it is a quite relaxing thing to do. If you don't know it, look it up, Zentangle. And it's a method, a creative method to be in the present. And I use journaling like that too, and my raw art method in a way has similar things, because it's sort of process, a 10-step process that I use for art journaling to create all these messy pages. And there are no rules, but there are like 10 steps, 10 suggestions of things that you can do. And when I tell people about it, they often ask me why I don't register the name. And oopsie, I have to grab my heat tool. If I wouldn't register the name and trademark it. And yeah, I hate that. I hate that so. And whenever I meet someone who has a Zentangle certificate and is allowed to teach it, and they will see Zentangles, and they will specifically tell you that is not Zentangle. And they see it because it has rules, and it's just saying like you make a movement that is inspired by yoga, and someone who's really in depth into yoga will tell you straight away that is not yoga. I really don't like that. And that is the thing with the raw art method. I'm afraid that if I would make it that in a commercial system, that people would start saying that is not following the raw art method, that is not how you should do it. And the idea alone makes me sick because I don't want people to follow rules. It's always just simply a suggestion. And ideas, I say that ideas are on the street. I think that too many people think too highly of ideas. People would say they stole my idea, but yeah, ideas aren't that important. It's what matters is what you do with the idea. And yeah, of course, obviously, someone can steal, can actually really steal something. If you tell your book idea to someone and that specific person writes the exact book that you were telling about, I understand that you are pissed. That's a stolen idea. But yeah, what can I say then? That person is just evil, I guess. You shouldn't do that. without talking about it. At least that's the very least thing to do. But then again, I just hear it so often that people have this great idea and then they don't actually do something with it, and then 3 years later they see exactly that idea somewhere else. And I've had it before with things as well, with my summer school. I created Art Journal Summer School, and then later I found that there was this other art journaler who did something similar, and I never heard of it. It was really my idea. And that's sometimes hard because you really had that idea, didn't seal it, and then apparently someone else did it already. And then the other way around now, because I stopped doing the Art Journal Summer School years ago. I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't have the energy. It wasn't already going that well with me back then. And now I sometimes see people doing something like that, because there started to be a gap in the summer. It was a really popular course. But yeah, I stopped it. I still, by the way, for those who follow me longer, okay, I had to change the battery of my camera. But for those who follow me longer and love what I do, I still have ideas, because yeah, that's not new. I always have many ideas. But I still have the idea to do something new for summer, and I'm afraid that this year is a bit too short notice. Because I am still rebuilding everything, my online school, and I'm not finished doing that. It doesn't really stay. I had put a layer of clear gesso on it, and then decided that I still want to add a few more elements. But now it doesn't stick because of the clear gesso is still a bit wet. I think I have to dry it thoroughly, and then maybe I can add things. Yeah, I really regret that I couldn't do it this year, but I still have plans for a summer school. That plan, I already created it. Yeah, I think that's the thing of being burned out. You can't do the things that you want to do. I had this idea for a summer art school. I wanted to ditch the journal, the art journal, and make it more into art in general, so that you could also join when you are an artist, a mixed media artist, and it was just going to be art inspired and more art school in general. Give you little art assignments, be inspired by art. And I already had so much stuff created for that summer art school, and that's 5 years ago. And every time when I'm going over old stuff, I see those ideas on my computer, and I'm thinking it is so much fun and I really want to do it. And then when I started building Studio Bloknote, I started Studio Bloknote in October, slowly rebuilding things again, and that's all behind the scenes really. But I again saw the summer art school ideas, and I figured, yeah, I really want to do something with it, because it's on my computer for so long and the ideas are still so nice and so good and so much fun, and more suitable for the present version of me. So it's not so happy and colorful anymore, but really more in-depth and raw, and a lot of fun ideas. And Then I figured when I really started at the beginning of this year I'm going to launch summer art school. But it's all just so much work. I'm still just creating notes to self and the raw art method. And already that is so much time. Sometimes I really think for myself, how did I manage to create so many e-courses during the time when I had Bloknote Academy and Bloknote Art School? I created course after course and now I don't manage to finish those two that I am creating. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I wasn't overworked for nothing, I guess. There was a reason why I got burned out. Well, yeah, burnouts never are because of one thing. Okay, what next? Because I added some paper elements and I don't really know what to do now. Because usually when I start art journaling, I would just switch to another page when I don't know it. But because I'm filming, I'm more... I feel an urge to finish this and show you a finished page. While actually this was not what the raw and messy sessions are for. So maybe it's better if I leave it as is and just switch to another page and I can come back to this later. Yeah, I think I do that. It's funny, these work really well. That's what I actually really like about junk journaling, is that you more... because when you have an art journal, you switch pages, you just go to the next spread and that's it. But with junk journaling, because there are different sizes in papers, the pages communicate with each other as well. So this one has I am so mad on it, and the D is here on the next page, and I use the same fonts on the next, so this really communicates with each other. And this is shorter than this, so this thing is here but also here, and these are all in the same size, but because it's more important in a junk journal that the pages have a certain flow, it doesn't really matter that this is not finished, but it continues. It's sort of, that's really what I love about junk journaling. It's not so much about the outcome on the actual page, it's more the feeling that you have when you turn the pages of that journal. I have another junk journal here on my desk. It's a smaller version and it doesn't really have a lot of drawings on in the beginning here. But as I turn the pages, there's not so much going on all the pages, but I really feel that there's just a lot happening here because of all the fun, different elements, different patterns, different pages. So that's what I really like about junk journaling. Yeah, I'm going to continue on this spread because this one is a bit more empty compared to these two, and I really miss something red here. Don't you agree? If you see this red and here it's red, there's no red here. A bit of pinkish red and a text, how can one be so alone? I actually wrote this recently. A lot of the things in this journal I wrote or created years ago when I was in a lot of mental pain. And I guess when I saw this journal again, I saw my own loneliness in my own work that I was in back then. Yeah, I was very lonely back then, and I'm happy to tell you that I don't feel lonely anymore. And there is another red blotch. I just put a bit of paint on the page and I grabbed this plastic card and I'm scraping the paint on the page, as I do. I was talking about something important. It feels like I haven't finished what I didn't make my point yet. I always had that. Oh, sometimes that can be a bit tiring. I really have to think. What was I talking about? I remember I was talking about art school, all fun stuff. Yeah, probably that I'm not ready to launch an art school, summer art school just yet, and that I regret that in 2025 I am still not ready for that, as I'm just starting and growing into having an online school again, and it just takes time. For me, as of course I am thinking of why and how I am returning, and because even these videos of the raw and messy sessions and the art of raw, I do have a sort of commercial intention with it. It's not like, because obviously I love making videos and I want to make them, but I also want to make a living from my art, so I have to have this good balance between things I add online for fun and why and how I do that, because I also wish to start making good quality art courses again. And for me it was sort of step 1, make my website. Step 2 was be back online again with my art, make videos and reach out to you, inform you about art journaling and what it is, what you need, and meanwhile start also making the courses again. So I have this idea that one day a week I can have time to make these free YouTube videos to inspire you and just to play around, and then about two days a week I can have time to make the quality courses that I want to make. But that all takes time. But for me it was just important to be back online again, because this is my stage. This is where I can reach out to you guys and let you know that I exist in the first place. I'm alive. And this is also really what I love to do most. I talked a lot about this with people that I think that counts for everyone, especially when you suffered a burnout, but it counts for everyone, that at one point you have to go back to what is it that you really loved to do, even though you didn't make money out of it, even though you did not have any followers or didn't have success or anything, but you just did it because you liked doing it. And for me that was creating YouTube videos about art journaling. That is exactly how I started my YouTube channel almost 17 years ago. because I simply loved to make these funny videos. If you see them now, it's vintage Bloknote. It's funny because I was updating my YouTube channel in the past weeks. I took off some really old videos that made me cringe because I was embarrassed by them, how old they were. There are still a couple of old videos there. I don't want to change history. So if you go to my channel, you can see this folder called Vintage Bloknote. And it has my very first YouTube videos on it. And I made this redesign of my thumbnails as well. So the new videos already have this new design. With my present font that I chose for the branding of Studio Bloknote with the typewriter font. But I also have these old videos that are really not. Yeah, well. Anyway, that's how I started, and that for me was also the perfect start for Studio Bloknote. Just start doing what I love best, and that's this. This doesn't ask for any energy. It's just me playing in my journal, rambling to a camera, show you guys what I'm doing, how I work in my art journals, and hopefully inspire you to play along. So yeah, that is step one, and I hope that now I'm back and having new energy and yeah, just I experienced this new me. I hope that I can be back for good and inspire you for a very long time with this. I can't imagine doing anything else. It feels like this is my calling, even though these videos aren't edited and yeah, it's just. Let me see how this works. Yeah, I think this works pretty well. I really like these red dots. And I like this thing here as well. Maybe I should add a little more white and a muted color or something. I have to dry this first before I do that. So how is your page going? Are you creating anything? I actually would love to do this online and see what others are creating as well. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm not ready for more interactive raw and messy sessions. That would be nice though, that we could have this online raw and messy sessions with each other and just ramble to each other, because now it's just me talking to a camera. Oh, do you hear the noise? Soon they are going to rebuild the apartment building where I'm living, and then I can only film during the evenings because of this sound. This awful sound. I'm gonna quickly drop some of. I have a message. That's the sound of my boyfriend, actually. Cute sound. I have a cute boyfriend these days. I've been married for quite a while. Well, actually, I wasn't married. for that long, but we were together for almost 24 years. It was my childhood love, and it's very sad when you are divorced. Divorce is always sad, especially when you have children. But divorcing from your childhood love is next level, because you are leaving someone that you actually really love, but you want change. That's what was happening to me. I really needed to change things in my life, and I didn't even know what it was yet. Now I do. Now it's years later, and I completely see what I wanted, and I guess I wanted a different life. I wanted freedom, and I didn't feel like I had that. And that's hard. Don't want to make you depressed. I don't want to say all these hard things that make you feel sad, but yeah, it was life was happening to me. But anyway, I have a cute boyfriend these days, and we are enjoying ourselves so much. It is really nice to experience a new love. Yeah, feel ridiculously happy, because I am, and that's a nice thing. That's actually an uplifting love story here that I'm sharing with you. It's really sweet and cute, actually. It's a bit. I sometimes feel a bit embarrassed how cute it is. It's really sweet. I don't like this part. It feels like this is more determined. It's a blotch on the white background, and here too. But here my brush was a bit dirty, it had red on it, and now there is this blotch that I have to deal with, and I have the feeling that I want to make this white, but I don't want to cover this up. So I have to think of a way how I can add white without covering that text. Perhaps I'm just going to add a bit of white gesso and cover this partly, but that you can still see the text. No, that's already too much. I can rewrite this, but because probably I will leave this, and then when I go back to this later, I must still be able to read what it says. Because if I'm not able to read this anymore, I will never bring it back, because I simply won't remember what it said. So I have to be able to read it for my future self when I'm going to work more on this spread. So my future Marieke will be thankful that I can still read it. Okay, yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap this up now. I hope I didn't say anything weird. It's really weird that I put on the camera and I simply start rambling, and I don't always remember what I'm saying, and then later, as I'm going to edit this, I'm not going to edit the raw and messy sessions too much, as I want them to be really pure, just the way I am. But I always go over the videos to see if I didn't say anything really awkward, because I tend to really overshare It's now I know that that is a typical ADHD thing, the oversharing, but I really could say the nastiest things out loud and then think, oh my god, I can never put that on the internet. I could give you examples, but it's better not. It's better that I don't give examples. Yeah, I hope I didn't say anything too weird, and that you liked it and that you started working in your art journal. Please continue working in your art journal or junk journal, and let me know if you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up, and I hope that you now continue working in your journal and that your desk is a good mess by now. Maybe put on some music that inspires you. I always love to get my headphones and start playing something with a lot of energy, punk music or metal or those kind of things. And sometimes I love these more dreamy, folky, intense, emotional stuff, blues rock, singer-songwriters that sing their heart out, you know, emotional stuff. And yeah, I can really dive into all the emotions and throw them all on paper. Once I get going, I can't stop. And I hope that through these sessions you will be more able to be productive and make a mess and make lots of pages that we can work on later again. Yeah, I'm tired of talking now. Thank you so much. I'm really enjoying myself here. I hope you do too. And I will see you in another raw and messy session. You rock. Continue doing your messy, raw stuff. Love it. See you again in another video. Ciao! That's it. Thank you so much for watching the raw and messy sessions. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button, and I will see you again in a new video. Ciao!